Hello and welcome to my gallery here in southwest France and my video channel Enjoy Watercolour Painting. I'm Diana, I'm a watercolourist. I want us to paint together to learn different techniques to help you to improve your watercolour painting and also to enjoy it as much as I do. Today we're going to continue with a theme that we started in the last video. I always ask for comments and suggestions, and several times in the last week I've had suggestions from you about continuing with the picture to add more detail and develop the seascape that we started last time. So this is exactly what we're going to do. We're going to go back to the image, and I think a useful thing to do at the start is to recap over where we have been so far and the technique that we've covered. I speeded the process up, so it's just a very short glimpse of what we did. So, as they say, cue video. With a little hint of permanent rose, and as you can see the board is tilted, so gravity will help the paint to flow to the bottom edge of the wash, and we can pick it up with the brush at each stroke across the paper, all in the same direction as you see. Loading more colour on as we get to the bottom of the picture because it's darker there. Having done that, we then go back in with a damp tissue to take out the clouds, which are going to be there emphasized with more blue, but for a start we're using two techniques, the damp tissue and also irrigating the still damp blue paint with clear water so that it moves the colour a little. It's very subtle and quite difficult to see from this point of view, but you can see it better when we start now to emphasize the glimpses of blue in the sky with a liner brush. Just adding the blue colour, and because the paper is damp, the blue will blend a little, which will give us that lovely effect of the clouds scudding across the sky. We want to indicate the headland in the background there, which is the other side of the Moray Firth in Scotland. And so I'm applying some darker colour here just to give us that point of reference, really the horizon line. And now we're washing down with more detail with a flat brush, adding some colour to indicate the sea. This flat brush does help to give the opportunity to keep everything level and not go uphill. So this is where we are with the seascape that I started last week to demonstrate watercolour washes. It's perfectly dry now, and the image that I used is by the side here. So you can see there's quite a bit of contrast and definition and detail to add to finish off this painting. So we're going to start first of all with a selection of palettes here. I have a lovely big tile with lots of blues, some turquoise in the middle here, cobalt turquoise, permanent rose, ultramarine blue, Payne's grey. Quite a lot of options here for the blues that we need for the sea. I also have a palette which is just off shot here, but I'll let you see. It's ultramarine blue and burnt sienna, which will give me some nice greys, and a palette with cobalt turquoise and Indian red for the sandy areas too. So quite a selection of colours we have. The usual range of brushes, 2 mop brushes, one size 10, one size 4, a little liner brush, and my flat brush, which may come in handy in some areas. So I'm going to start with the sky area. First of all, I need to get the right colour to give us the lovely blue of the sky. So off we go, let's paint. With a little cobalt turquoise, and now I'm going back over the glimpses of blue that we did in the initial video, just emphasizing the colour, darkening the colour, and being a little bit more generous with the colour. Just following the photograph as well, but also following the clouds that I took out in the initial stage, making sure that that emphasizes the contrast of the white clouds and the blue glimpses between the clouds. Of course, watercolour always dries lighter, and so we need to be quite brave with the colour. But also because I have the extra light shining on the paper, we are getting a shadow, a dazzling light catching on the wet bit of paper. I hope you can see it properly. It's really not all that clear. But you can see now that I'm applying a stronger colour further down in the sky, where we see that larger glimpse of blue. Again, it's the colour mix that I suggested, ultramarine blue with cobalt turquoise. There is also a little hint of grey at the base of the clouds. This is the northeast of Scotland after all, and at this time of year the skies are wonderful because they're so interesting with clouds and just moody skies, which I like. So I'm adding a combination of cobalt turquoise and Indian red, which makes a lovely soft grey, just at the base of the clouds to give us the feeling of the grey clouds in the distance. Threatening to rain, I think. The other side of the Moray Firth, which is the headland that you see in the distance, is next for accentuation and darkening. I'm using the ultramarine and burnt sienna mix to add that contrast, running along the line that we had before. This picture is a series of different areas and levels, all working horizontally. It's a very gentle picture with lots of different contrast and lots of smaller details. So I hope this video is helping you to see just that. I'm now working with the flat brush to give the effect of the waves in the Firth there, and of course the shadow created by the water rolling into the shoreline. We can emphasize this even more as the waves come closer, just moving into a bar of sand which seems to block the tide. So there we are, that's the biggest wave that you see. Very long distance and very subtle, but very special and peaceful as well. And now we want to create that band of sand which crosses the picture. I've decided not to put in the sandbank on the right hand side. It's too intrusive and not really necessary. So call it artistic license if you like. We'll just forget it's there. The flat brush helps me to get that straight edge. And I am standing up now rather than sitting down because it's easier to get a good view and keep things horizontal. Water really doesn't go uphill, and so we need to have this horizontal element throughout. Trying to move a little bit of the blue just to help with the reflection of the sky in the still water. Well, there we have it, our seascape with the watercolour wash and the details and contrast added to it to give us that feeling of distance and depth. I hope you enjoyed the video. I certainly enjoyed it. I love to paint in this way. If you haven't done so already, please don't forget to like and subscribe and watch out for any more videos. I have had suggestions to deal with the subject of autumn and autumn leaves, so I think that will be my next project. So watch this space. Till the next time, happy painting. Bye.